Hi, everybody. My name is Zeb Welborn, President and CEO of the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce. We are resuming our Chino Valley Business Beat. This is season two. So we're looking this month, we have a theme. Our theme is how to get the most out of your chamber membership. So we're going to go through a long list of things. We recently created this membership action plan to help our members be a little bit better in what they do and how they do it. So that's what we're going to be walking through today. Is I'm going to be highlighting a couple of our chamber members. They're going to be talking about some of the things that they've done to take advantage of their chamber membership. And I want to make sure that all of our members and that our community knows that there are resources they can take advantage of through the chamber. And so we're going to talk about some of those things today. There's a whole bunch of things that we do at the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce to support businesses. So by no means is this in full of everything that we do for businesses, but this is a brief snapshot of some of the things that we do. And I do want to share my screen real quick because I want to show you what our membership action plan looks like, because this is what we're going to walk through today. So let me click on this real quick. So this is our membership action plan. So you can see here we have a big list of things. There's 10 things that we put together to try to help our members walk through. And this is the stuff that we're going to cover today. So if you see and you take a look at what those topics are, this is what we'll be talking about with our members. And so each one's going to talk a little bit about what they did and how they did it to flesh this thing out for us. So I'm going to stop sharing and go back to our main screen. So if you're interested and you want to know what chamber membership looks like, you want to make sure you're maximizing your membership, you're going to want to follow that membership action plan. So with that, what I'd like to do is I'd like to bring up our first guest today. So this is Brian. Brian is a new member of the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce. Brian joined recently, and he's been around the chamber network for a long time, but finally pulled the plug, or I don't know what I said. Finally, you made the decision to come and join. So Brian, we're really excited to have you. And then one of the things on the top of that list is scheduling an appointment with the CEO. So just so that you all know, whenever a new member joins, I do call them, or I'll reach out via email and just say, hey, I'd love to schedule a time to chat. I want to make sure that you're taking advantage of your membership. We have a go through, and I'll ask 4 questions. And my 4 questions are, tell me about your business, because I want to learn about their business, why they were considering joining in the first place, how they feel like the chamber can best help them, and then is there anything that they can do to give back and support the larger business community? So those are the 4 questions that I always ask when I do that, and I get great insights from local businesses about the things that they're doing and what they're sharing. And so Brian recently went through that experience. And so Brian, I wanted to hear from you. So one, tell us about your business and what you do.
Hi, my name is Brian Patamakanthin, and I have a photography, video, and marketing business.
Yeah, excellent. So let's talk about, you've onboarded, you've kind of been around the chamber network for a while and you finally joined. Tell us why you decided to make that decision.
Yeah, so I've actually lived in Chino Hills since 1997. Love the city, love our area, and as a local business, I really value the support of our local community, families, businesses, and the chamber has always been a part of that with my business for many years. And that's a big reason why I decided that, yeah, I need to officially be a part of the chamber now. I've worked with many individuals and businesses in it, and I have nothing to say but great experiences and networking with the chamber. So doing signing on as a member was definitely a no-brainer.
Well, awesome. So tell us about how that discussion went. Like we had that initial chat. Did anything open up for you? Do you remember that at all? Tell me about our first chat together.
Yeah, I actually really appreciate that you asked really good questions. The questions you do ask the members that are prospecting or wanting to join is, what do you want out of this? Like, are you trying to grow your business? Are you trying to grow your network? So I really appreciated having that kind of feedback from you and gauging where I was at with my business, where I want to do. And I think that's important because you guys want to be able to provide the tools. And I felt that with our conversation, I felt very comfortable in knowing that. I mean, I have experience with other chambers and groups, and I really like what the Chino Valley does.
So in that chat, was there anything that was eye-opening for you? Anything that you're like, oh, that's something I do want to get involved in? Or is there anything that stands out to you that helped you kind of get more involved in what we're doing?
That's a great question. Uh, Two things stood out to me: the leadership program and the ambassador program. Uh, I I joined the ambassador program because I do want to help spread Chino Valley Chamber to other businesses so that they can see the benefits that are available with them. And the leadership program is a great program for entrepreneurs who really want to level up their game.
Yeah, and then I know you've also helped us out with a bunch of different things that we do through the chamber since joining. We did our innovation council. I know you shot some photography of that. You've kind of gotten involved in a variety of different ways. Share with me some of the things that you feel like you've been excited about participating in so far.
Yeah, one of the recent ones that we did was the women's conference. Uh, I was commissioned by the Chino Valley Chamber to capture it. I was able to get some great photos, make a highlight video, and uh, recently I had met some other individuals who are also part of the chamber, and they got to see that video. They saw it, and they were at that event. So it was funny that I had ran into these people who were at the event and saw the video. So it's nice knowing that at least my work could help contribute to the getting some eyes on it.
Yeah, no, it's excellent. And I know that you've been, like I said, super helpful in terms of shooting some photography, videography, and it's only been a month or two, I want to say, since getting involved. So that's exciting to see and hear. Let's talk about you and what you're looking for. Is there anything, why did you join the chamber? What were you looking for?
Like I was saying about being part of other business networking groups and chambers, I think the Chino Valley Chamber is more active than some of the other ones. The membership is very reasonable, and all of the tools and the benefits that you offer through the website, through the ambassador program, the leadership program, the events, the ribbon cuttings, they're all really great assets for businesses to help utilize getting their name and their face out there in the community. Because without a community, we wouldn't have the businesses that we have.
Excellent. And then I think the last thing that I'll highlight and share, you mentioned the ambassador committee, so you have kind of signed up to do that. And so if you're interested in like getting more engaged and involved with the chamber, you can definitely check out our ambassador committee. One of the other things that we just started was we call it our influencer committee. So we have some folks that we call content creators or that are creating things online. And so we wanted to kind of bring those local folks that are doing that together. And I know you were included in that as well. Is there anything you want to say about content creation or the influencer committee through the chamber?
Yeah, actually, I think, well, I will say, you're the one that kind of masterminded it. You're testing out some different things. And that's what I liked about you as a CEO of the chamber is that you're willing to not just kind of stick to the old methods or the cookie cutter things. You're very willing to try out new things, whether it's with AI technology or figuring out different ways to bring us together, such as the Innovation Council and having the influencer meetings that we've been having, because you really do look towards the future. And I will say that's important. And maybe that's one of the biggest things that separates you guys from other chambers is that we're progressively moving forward along with technology and society.
Awesome. Well, Brian, thank you so much for taking the time to chat today. I appreciate all of your insights, and it was a pleasure chatting with you for those CEO chats. And like I said, I do that with every member that, or I try my best to do that with every member that joins and connect to make sure that we get them set up in the right way and going in the right foot. And then we are going through that membership action plan that I highlighted earlier. So, Brian, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next on our panel is we have Emilee Sutherland. Emilee, I'm gonna bring you on. This is talking about participating in chamber committees. So if you look at that membership action plan, one of the opportunities that we give to businesses, you've kind of already heard it from Brian, is just to get engaged and involved in the chamber network and being able to build a network, being a part of a community, being a part of some kind of planning and things. And Emilee has done that with a lot of different things through the chamber since she joined recently as well. So I want to highlight Emilee and just say, thank you for getting involved and engaged. And two, let's talk about what are some of the things that you've raised your hand for to get involved into the chamber.
So first, right off the bat, I found out about you guys through a women's council event. And so I feel like that's important. Like these committees are a really great tool to get people into the chamber, because I was invited by somebody and attended, and I loved. Oh, am I supposed to accept something? Sorry.
No, you're doing great. Keep going.
Um, I immediately wanted to be involved. They had like a little call there saying if anyone is interested in being a part of the Women's Council Committee specifically. And I loved how unique it was. Not unlike Brian, I have been involved in other chambers, and right off the bat, it was a different tone, a different energy. And the fact that they even had a women's council really struck a chord with me, because I just hadn't seen that done in that way before. So I immediately wanted to get involved with that. And that has been going pretty strong. I mean, we've had an event a quarter, I believe. And so that has just been an incredible opportunity to connect deeper with the women of the chamber through our events and through the other committee members, just like that. In the trenches planning together has been a great bonding experience. And now I'm on the holiday event committee, which is really fun as well.
Awesome. So tell me, I'm curious. You said it felt different. Like, can you pinpoint what made it feel different?
Yes. So in the past, in my experience with other chambers, it's felt very I don't want to be like disparaging against other groups, but there's a formula and this is how we do things. It just didn't feel very organic and very relational. It's like, all right, this person speaks, and then everyone has 30 seconds to do their little elevator pitch, and then this person does it, and then that's the end of the event, and just very stuffy, very like, this is probably what they had been doing for the past 20, 40, years. And this just felt incredibly opening, welcoming, and organic. And to me, I feel like this is common sense, and this is how chambers should be. But the thing that really struck me was this is about relationships. This isn't about just, I showed up, I did the thing, I passed out 3 cards. It was really, we're here to connect, we're here to learn about you and introduce you to as many people as possible. And I haven't experienced it in that way really before.
Oh, cool. No, that's great to hear. And one of the things that I feel like when I got involved in chamber, it kind of clicked for me because I got involved as a business owner, and I was very much like when I first got in was like handing out business cards and seeing like what's going to happen from a business perspective. And then I realized very quickly that wasn't, or at least it wasn't successful for me in that case. So it was working on developing and building relationships, and that's one of the things that we try to build and ingrain in through here. And one of the things, like one of the best ways to build relationships is by actively doing something together. And these committees allow for that opportunity to work with partners, have some kind of mutual objective, and then you're working with different people that you wouldn't normally work with to try to execute on a goal. But it does enhance and develop those relationships. And so when we say we have committees, like every major event we have has a committee. You mentioned that you're planning the holiday luncheon. So let's talk about that. How's that going for you? I know you signed up for some responsibilities there. Like, walk me through what it's like to be a part of a committee.
Well, I was so blown away with how organized the first meeting was. I signed up, I said, yeah, I'll be a part of this. And I didn't have any expectations necessarily. And I couldn't believe at the number of people that signed up. I feel like oftentimes getting volunteers for stuff is like pulling teeth. And it just seemed like so many people were interested and willing. And, this is a nod to you, how organized. I'm very type A. I don't appreciate just rambling for 2 hours. I got stuff to do. And so it was incredibly organized, and there wasn't a lot of time spent like hemming and hawing. I think you did a really good job at like, okay, great, decision made, moving on. And I've really, really enjoyed it. I'm specifically working on the like social activity for the event, and with my co-committee member, and we've had a great time chatting through how we envision seeing this happen and how attendees can get the most out of an event. And I don't know, I feel like anytime you get a group of people together, there's a lot of opinions on how things should go. And my mindset is like, if you have an opinion on how it should go, don't talk about it, do it. And I want to get the most out of these events so I can network and meet as many people as possible. So that's part of why I wanted to participate in that specific committee. Yeah.
Well, great. Well, hey, thank you very much. And I really appreciate all of those kind words. It's nice to hear that it's organized because sometimes I don't know if it feels that way. But that's great to hear. And then, yeah, so you're involved in the Women's Council. So, if you're interested, you can certainly reach out to Emilee for more about the Women's Council. And if you're also interested in the holiday luncheon that's coming up on December 17th. So thank you, Emilee, for chatting with us today and sharing how to get involved in committees. And we have committees for everything else. So thank you very much.
Of course.
Next up, I think we have Annie. Annie is with California Bank and Trust. So for her, one of the things that Annie has done a great job with is participating in chamber events and building relationships and networks. So that's one of the things that we want to try to highlight. Annie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Zeb. Good morning.
Good morning. So one of the things that I wanted to highlight with you is that, we have this event page on the Chino Valley Chamber website. You've signed up and registered for these events and are participating and connecting with people. So I want to educate our members about, because one of the things that we're going to be doing moving forward is we're going to be hosting a lot. I don't want to say a lot more events, but I'm going to say our events are going to be at different time slots moving forward in the year. And we really want to encourage our members to register and sign up for those. So just walk me through, why you want to attend events. Why do you attend the chamber events?
Thank you, Zeb. That's a great question. I would say, as someone who is a member of the chamber, it is very, very important that you look at, the events, things going on within the chamber, because then that's how you're going to meet people and build relationships. So I'm very intentional about that. I go to the page, see what's going on, see the upcoming activities. Then I proactively register and, add that to my personal calendar. Then that helps me plan ahead of time and make sure that I can block up that time. So for me, it's a very good opportunity to meet our members. At times they just, see your post on LinkedIn. But when they see you at, those events, they're like, oh, this is Ini, or I'm like, oh, that's Renay. So just that, in-person meeting does help a lot, and it helps build trust too. So that's the reason why I do that.
Awesome. Well, and then, so like when you do attend these meetings, do you attend every single chamber meeting that we have?
I don't, but I attend majority of the time because, like I mentioned earlier, it's an opportunity to get to meet other small business owners in the community, get bond and see how you can, meet each other, learn, and, support each other's businesses, because that's how we're going to meet. We're all very busy people. So when people make out time to come out like that, it's a very good networking opportunity for us. Then we can always, meet outside the chamber or outside. Yeah.
Yeah, I asked that question because I don't expect anybody to attend all our chamber events. I think last year we did 193 of those, and I think sometimes people will say things like, oh, well, I can't attend most events, so therefore I don't want to. Even attending one event is going to be worth it throughout the year if you're participating, engaging intentionally. So I just want to encourage you all. You don't feel like you need to attend a lot of events, but you can look and identify which are some things that you do want to get involved in. We do have a plan to get all of our 2026 calendar in place. So we're going to have lots of events scheduled in 2026. And I'm hoping that at the beginning of the year that we kind of have not the full calendar, but we have a big, long calendar of events throughout the year that you can take a look at and explore. Annie, one of the things that I appreciate about you is you are kind of intentional about meeting with people and getting together. And there's been times where I've been out and about in town and I've seen you meeting with another chamber member. So talk to me about how you go about, once you do attend an event, what kind of happens for you after those?
Absolutely. So for me, like I mentioned earlier, the first step is to, attend some of those events. Then, during the events, I get to meet people, we exchange cards. Then I intentionally follow up after, which is very key. It's easy to, get those cards, stack them up. But I reach out and say, hey, remember me, Eni? We met at, this event. What's your availability like? Then we schedule something, we meet outside and we get to learn more about each other, then discuss how we can support one another's business. So that's what I do. And for me, it's more about relationship building, first and trust. Then, eventually every other thing will follow suit.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that when they do join the chamber, one of the things that often, and I look at it as two different ways. I call it transactional versus transformational. So on the transactional side, it's like I joined, I paid my 350, 450, 650, $950 to be a member. I want to see X numbers coming back to my business. And that's often how they look at it. And when I see the businesses that do well, and I call it like being of service, it's like building these genuine relationships with folks because these are all people that are business owners. They're all leaders in the community. They're all well connected. And sometimes, like depending on the business, let's just say you're in real estate, you're selling a house. Those transactions come a lot less than maybe if
That's
you're buying
right.
flowers from somebody or you're doing something that's a little bit more low key on those ends. But you make that one transaction is way more than what anything is kind of developed through the chamber. And then you'll see those kind of snowball over time. So what I've seen is when people are very intentional, they're building relationships. It takes time to do for a lot of the businesses that we do, like insurance or baking or whatever. But when you see those businesses that stick around and really are supportive of the community and are giving back and are devoting of their time and are making those connections, that's when I really see some good positive movement in our community. It's also a great way to get connected with who our business leaders are and identify where those opportunities are because sometimes you just don't know. So can you elaborate on that a little bit? Is there anything that you've experienced where you're like, yeah, this has been great?
Absolutely. I mean, you said it all because as someone who is in banking and as a relationship manager, trust building is very key. So I wouldn't just expect to meet somebody one day and the next day the person is doing business with me. No, there has to be that trust. The other party has to feel comfortable because anything finances is a big deal. It's something that we're very private about. So there has to be that trust for the other person to, reach out and say, hey, Eni, I have some questions for you. So I'm aware of that. I'm very conscious of that. So I allow it to be very organic. Then one thing I also do too is in the process, some people could be very shy of reaching out. I tell them, hey, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. You don't necessarily have to bank with me or anything, but just know that you have me as one of the bankers in the community. If you have questions, please reach out. We're all here to help you. So for me, that first process is very key, trust building. Then eventually everything else would follow through. That's my mindset, and that's the way it should be.
All right. Well, Andy, thank you so much for coming on and chatting. And I just want to highlight to recap this discussion is we do lots of events. We have entrepreneur related events. So if you're looking to grow your business, if you need help with HR or you need help with other items, we have talks about that. We have basically anything that's designed to help grow your business. We also do roundtables every so often. So we have these roundtables that we get together. We have a leadership program. We have ribbon cuttings. We have mixers. We have our business at breakfast. We have all of these events that we do through the chamber. And so depending on what your needs are in the stage in your business, you have the opportunity to view that on our events page and then sign up. And Annie, thank you for being involved in that.
Thank you. And thank you for everything you do, Zeb. I appreciate you. I appreciate the whole team. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. So I think next on my list is Julia. Julia Cabrera is a team member here at the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce. Julia runs several things through the chamber. She runs our leadership collaborative program. She runs our legislative advocacy work, and she also runs our roundtables that we do. So Julia, let's talk about your role. So let's go over each of those things. We mentioned the Leadership Collaborative Program, which is underway. I know there's an option for people to sign up to get involved, but let's talk about the leadership program.
Sure. Yeah. So the leadership program is started at the chamber about 4 years ago, and we're lucky enough to have a fourth cohort going this year and a fifth one coming up the next year. But it's essentially a 10-month long program. There's a big commitment to it because you're attending meetings the first Friday of every month from November to August. There's a graduation component as well. And there's a component where we ask the members that join to complete what we call a community goods project. But the real goal of the program is to collect people from different industries to bring them to tours and organizations to meet executive teams from different organizations across industries to really get them to connect and collaborate and get them out of their work silos. The issue that this leadership collaborative solves for most people, from what I hear, is that it really gives them the opportunity to intentionally connect with people that they normally would never be able to do in any ordinary scenario. So it's been really, really great. So yeah.
Excellent. So how do people get involved in this leadership program?
Yeah, so the way you get involved is just by talking to me or Zeb. We have an interest sheet that we have that we send out. But the process to actually go in and participate, we do a very short interview where you interview with myself, Zeb, and some of our alumni. But really, what we're really looking for in participation is one, to meet the time commitment and the financial commitment. But what really makes the cohort special and what makes the experience special is what we tell people is just come with an open mind and really an open heart, being open to being curious about what's around you and what's in your community really changes the whole thing for you. Every year we accept people from industries like manufacturing, police, fire, government, executives from large companies, solopreneurs, people from mid-sized companies. And some of these people have been in the Chino Valley in the Inland Empire for years, and they leave the program telling us that they would never have been able to interact with people in this way, and they've discovered something new about themselves, something new about their community. We've seen people build businesses with each other, collaborate with each other, and so it's kind of like you were saying, Zeb. Like this program is one that gives that transformational relationship instead of a transactional one. So I highly recommend it. And I highly recommend going at a time in your life and in your business where you can be present because that's how you'll get the most out of it.
Yeah, no, thank you, Juliet. And Juliet, so this is our fourth year. It just started, so you can't get in until next year. But if you are interested, you definitely want to talk to Julia. But that's one of the things that I feel like I'm most proud, or that we as a team are most proud of bringing to this community is there wasn't a leadership program or anything like that here in the Chino Valley area. It's something we brought together, and now we have 100 people that have gone through this program together and have built these lifelong relationships and connections with businesses and organizations that just wasn't in existence before. So thank you for the work you put into that. And then secondly, we have our roundtables that I know you help organize and facilitate. So you want to talk briefly about that?
Yeah. So for our roundtables, we primarily do those in collaboration with Chaffey College. And so those are primarily have been industry based where we gather business owners from specific industries to have these conversations with the college. And the reason for that is that in those conversations, the college gets a better understanding of what's happening locally for that industry, and how they can better collaborate with business owners to try and get their students ready for the workforce. And those conversations have been fantastic, and I think going on also for the past 3 or 4 years. It's really impactful when you're sitting there and I think it's easy to read industry trends online and read things online, but there's something special about coming in person, taking the time to share what your challenges are, what you're focusing on in your business, what changes are you seeing in the landscape, and being able to actually share that with people that are producing the the future employees that you may potentially hire. Um, and so the conversations have been great. I mean, I think they made great in trying for us as a chamber trying to support why businesses should take on internships, apprenticeships, and supporting us and helping develop like the future workforce and getting students to want to live locally, to continue to live locally and work locally too, I think is very important. And Chaffey College has been fantastic in collaborating with us, and it means so much to us as an organization when we see business owners who are incredibly busy take their time out of their day to come and be vulnerable and be honest with us. And then I think the other thing too is watching business owners in those conversations talk to each other about how they want to work together to boost their own industry is incredibly impactful. I'll share one story about our fashion roundtable that we've done. I think 2 or 3 times now to talk about the fashion industry in the Inland Empire. Chaffey College, from our understanding, has a program for people that want to go into the fashion industry. And so when we had all these people who are working in the fashion industry that are based in the Inland Empire, but also are doing work in Orange County and LA County and out of the state, and they're willing to come to the table to talk about what can we do for fashion in the Inland Empire. I mean, it's incredibly impactful. They've decided to go on and on their own build their own fashion coalition, and they are talking about bringing like Fashion Week here in the Inland Empire, which is totally amazing and totally doable. It just takes the opportunity to be able to gather people in one spot to do that. And that's just one story of a lot of the great things that come from building rooms like that for collaboration.
Great. Yeah. And our goal with the roundtables is we really want to get feedback from those businesses that are participating, gather some action items that the chamber can take or that group can take, and then take action on them so that we're helping our businesses and the things that they need help with in the most. And then lastly, really quick, Julia, you manage our legislative advocacy program. Let's talk about what that looks like. How can people get involved in legislative advocacy through the chamber?
Yeah, so for the legislative affairs, I believe it's on the middle and the upper tier for legislative affairs. So if you were interested in joining the committee and being a voting member of the committee, those would be the tiers that you're looking for in our membership. But essentially the way those work, we do monthly webinars when Congress is in session, and then we also have now an annual Sacramento trip. On top of that, we'll also do some roundtables with our legislators every year when we get the opportunity to. And for our legislative affairs, our chamber follows the lead of the California Chamber as well as the Inland Empire Chamber of Commerce as well, and then some local associations as well too that are industry based. So I always recommend that if you're a business and your organization is, or you as an individual are part of other associations, particularly ones that are industry based, if you bring those challenges and those ideas or things that your other associations are working on too, it helps us understand where you and probably where all our other businesses are going and thinking of too. Just attending the monthly webinars as well, even if you're not part of any association, to just listen and stay updated and give us your feedback on what's happening in the community. I think that's the other thing too, that I think people hear legislative affairs, and I hope people realize that it starts with just coming to us with an issue or with a problem. And then us as a chamber and us with our business organizations and our networks, we can try to help figure out a solution for you. Maybe the problem comes up in legislative affairs, and maybe it's not necessarily a solution for legislative affairs. But I hope people more focus on the affairs part, and then the legislative part second, because that's really the space where it helps us as a chamber try to take action when people come and share to us what they see in the community and what's happening in your industry locally or nationally. And then again, the Sacramento trip, I can't highlight that enough, how important it is to get that face time in front of your legislative representatives. And they don't get often the time to say it, but they really appreciate it so much when business owners take the time to come and visit them. especially because they're so busy. It helps them in their advocacy for us too. When they can say, I talked to a Servpro or an owner about what their challenges they're facing in the construction industry, and I have a person that I can name when it is, when me as a legislative representative go and speak to my committees or my teams about what I'm experiencing at my community. It's Legislative affairs is one of those things where like we can be really, really successful as a community and as a chamber when we take the time to be honest and vulnerable and open up our ears and our hearts to try to solve local issues. Um, so yeah, that's if anyone is kind of like I mentioned, part of any associations, or honestly, if you just see something around like I would say come to Zeb personally, come to me personally, or Renay, our vice president. We're always happy to lend an open ear, and then if there's something we can take action on, like that would be so exciting for us as an organization.
Excellent, Julia. Thank you so much. Julia does a great job running all those things. Obviously, very passionate about the work that she does. And not recently, but she was named a 40 under 40 by our Chamber Association, which covers the whole U.S. So, Julia, congratulations and thank you for chatting with us today. I'm gonna move on to Renay, who is our vice president of the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce. Renay is our vice president. She handles our workforce development work, and she was so excited about this that she is on vacation, but she wanted to jump in and participate in this anyways. So Renay, are you ready and able?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. Well, Renay, talk to us a little bit about workforce development and your role here at the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Sure. It says I am able, I can't I can't start the video, but I can speak.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'm sorry, Zeb, if you can repeat the question, please.
Yeah, tell me about workforce development here at the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce. How do we handle workforce development here?
Sure. We have a lot of initiatives here at the Chino Valley Chamber for Workforce Development. So first is our on-the-job training funds. We're actually hosting a job fair on December 8th. It's going to be at the Chino Community Center, December 10th from 9 to 12 at the Chino Community Building. And that's something that we're going to be hosting as well. So if you're interested in that, please reach out to me for that. But, if businesses that are hiring, we have a lot of on-the-job training funds available. And so a lot of our businesses can, if you're hiring a new employee, you can get up to 6 weeks of their wages for hiring a new employee. So that's one initiative that we have. Another one is that we've just, that one that I'm really personally happy and involved for is our Justice Impacted Individuals. We have a hire grant, and I actually have through the state of California, we're able to provide $60,000 worth of OJT funds for businesses that do want to hire justice impacted individuals. So that's something that if you are wanting to do, just reach out to us, and that's something that we can provide as well.
Excellent. And then, recently, I don't want to say recently, but maybe a year or two ago, you were kind of promoted to the vice president role at the Chamber of Commerce. How is that going?
It's been great. We have an amazing team at the chamber. I say that all of us are very passionate about the work that we do, and that's what's a great part for me being there. Is it's really rewarding to see all of us in terms of just had Julia speak, and then Zeb, and then Nicole, Elizabeth, Donna, and we have just an amazing team that's always really passionate about the work they want to do, and also the impact they want to make in the community. So I really have enjoyed that as well. And then it's also, developing those partnerships with our communities that I've been able to do, or we've been able to do as a chamber, it's been very successful as well.
Excellent. And Renay, so if you had to look back on your time here in the chamber, what is something that you are most proud of?
Oh, wow, Zeb, that's a tough question. There are many things that I'm very proud of at our chamber for. We are First and foremost, we are like, not just are we making an impact regionally, we've been like, through the state of California and even nationally, we've been recognized for our efforts, the impact that we're doing in the community. We are just like, Emilee was speaking earlier, we are different from any other chambers. We really take a lot of initiatives that are what our community needs and wants, and we're quick to launch that. And that's like one of the most amazing things for me is to work at the chamber is if there's a thought or if there's an initiative, we can do it the next day. And so that's something that's been really rewarding to see, and as well as the team, just to see how hard everyone works and how much they all want to make a difference in the people's lives. I mean, every single day I get a testimony or I get a feedback or a kudos about the work we do. So I think that's been really rewarding as well.
Awesome. Well, Renay, thank you for all the hard work you put into the chamber as well. We know Renay's received a lot of recognition. I won't run through the full list, but she's got a lot of good accolades for her time here at the chamber. Now, I also want to point out, I brought up while Renay was talking, kind of our website to take a look at some of the things that we have available through our website. We have a variety of different programs that we can execute on. And so you can see our workforce development work is all related here. So most of the stuff, if you want information, you can find that by looking at our website when it comes to our workforce development. So we went through this Upskill Chino Valley program, and actually Renay helped us put together the application for this, which was approved. We got $1 million to help execute this Upskill Chino Valley program, where it was 4 things. We're doing economic development, which is the roundtables that Julia leads. It's leadership development, which is also the program that Julia leads. It was workforce development, which Renay is taking the lead on. And then it's entrepreneurship development, which we as a team kind of work together to help develop these. So we've created programs and opportunities in all these areas. So you can take a look at all of those things here on our website in our program section. And this is also where you would learn about advocacy and the Sacramento trip that Julia mentioned as well. Renay, any last thoughts?
Just like I would probably echo what Julia was saying as well, like we are an amazing chamber. And if there's anything that anyone, has a thought, a suggestion, or anything that we can help from, we can definitely help either, fulfill it or even lead that way to do it. So I would always reach out, like feel free to reach out. We have an open door policy and just come and talk to us about anything.
Excellent. Well, Renay, thank you so much for coming on board. And anybody who is listening out there, you can reach out to any of our team members. We'll be happy to help you out. Next on our list today is Dan. Dan Munoz. He went to our Chino Valley Leadership Collaborative Program, and you could see him with a lot of shoes in the background. So he is the owner of Weathering Shoes. So Dan, thank you for joining us today. For you, one of the things we want to highlight is we love sharing chamber testimonials, like things that happen good for businesses because of the relationships they've built through the chamber. And I know that you've had a lot of really good success stories from that. So, let's talk about that a little bit. Tell me some of the good things that have happened as a result of your membership with the chamber.
Well, hello, everyone. I want to first say that I'm happy to be a part of this because I am a big supporter of this chamber. I've never been a part of a chamber, and it's something I was always nervous to think about it. And Zeb was super warm and inviting, and he really got me pumped up and fired up to be a part of this chamber, and I appreciate that energy. But yeah, what I will say is yes, success wise, really being a part of the chamber has made it a lot easier for me to maybe connect with people that are all throughout the city, of just understanding the different parts of the city. I have been part of the collaborative team, but really with that, the really quick success story is there was I think it was with, let's say, with Wacker Chemical. They're a local company, and they're really involved within the chamber as well. And they quickly committed with really not much energy on my part, that they wanted to take a look at our product. We specialize in safety footwear and really safety programs, and which is important and no matter where you work. And the chamber connected us together. It took a while to finalize everything, but that wouldn't have been possible, without being in the chamber. It's as tough as that is. But so I'm definitely thankful for that. That's one of the success stories. I don't I don't know if you have time for all of them,
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, I have two in my head that I'm thinking that are still
okay.
left to go. Yeah.
So another one I would say is I got connected with Hussman, which is one of the largest companies within the chamber, and Chino Hills area, and there were many connections there with the chamber, people that are involved within Hussman, that somehow it connected us to be a part of being invited to visit their their warehouse or their corporate office, and we ended up introducing the product to their employees. They have up to 300 employees, and it was a way to introduce that product to their employees, and we're getting people coming by, and it's exciting, to think of the opportunity of that. I could also mention my first best long-term employee I hired through I don't know if you're aware of this, Zeb, but I went to a job fair, and I found my first employee that really understood my dream of owning a small business, of someone that is genuine and authentic and wanting the best for the customer. And it's been great. I've also connected with people like let's say Rita Pro, who's been an awesome, amazing ambassador for the chamber, and also the fire department, and she has a lot of connections, and she also connected me to the fire captain, David Williams, and he's someone that has he is hopefully potentially in the future he may implement a program to get boots for each member of the team as well. So this is something that's in the works, but it's one of many different great things that have happened.
Yeah, and as I said, one of the things I do want to highlight, like with you, Dan, I mean, I know you're involved in the leadership program, and you've been, I'm not saying you're absent from it, but you don't really attend many events, mostly because you're running your office, but you're still getting benefits from your participation in the chamber.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and one of the things, those are all the things that I thought that came to mind for that. So all of those are things like we're helping with people identify some workforce. That job fair thing you mentioned, I know one of our somebody who was involved with the chamber got hired by you to work at the Red Wing Shoes, and then building those relationships. Like one of the things that I'm trying to educate our businesses when we first onboard them is just how, and I talked about earlier that transactional versus transformational, but that transformational side of things is when you get kind of invested and you're working to support a community as a whole, there are tons of things that will help grow your business because you're collaborating with other people who are smart, who can learn, who can help you how to engage and do things. You're connecting with those large enterprises, and in your case, like those large enterprises that have the opportunities to hire you and stuff. And if we're all working together as this community of 400 businesses, all of our businesses will be better for it. And so I just really appreciate, how involved you've been and how the nice things you say about the chamber. And it's great to hear all of those success stories. So thank you, Dan. And then with that, so that I think that ends all of our panelists for today, but I am going to go through and highlight some of the things that we didn't cover with our panelists today. We're going to cover and talk about some of, so let me share my screen. I'm going to go back to that map thing that I was mentioning. Does that look full on your screen, Elizabeth? Great. So, and for those of you that aren't aware, Elizabeth handles our marketing. So actually that's a perfect segue because she is here helping with Chino Valley Business Beat behind the scenes. So right now we're looking at this membership action plan. So I'll cover the first thing first. The first thing is when you sign up, you do get a listing on our website. And to be honest with you, we have businesses from across the country that sign up to be members just so that they can get a link to their website. So right off the bat, if you value search engine optimization or you want to show up higher in Google or the search results, making sure that you fill out that listing on your chamber website is advantageous for you to help show you higher in those search engines because we're a reputable website. It links to yours, it grows that. Not to mention, that's how our businesses find you. So if you're looking to do business with local businesses, I want to encourage you to check out our website on the directory page, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. The next thing is with your membership, we do offer some free email and social media posts to go out highlighting your business. So if you have something, so if you're the basic membership, I think you get 2 emails a year, and if you're a higher level of membership, you get 4. But you send those to Elizabeth, and she will put that in our newsletter. And I always recommend when people first join is do a bio of yourself, talk about who you are, what you're doing, and build some excitement for your business, and build a really relational story so that people get a chance to get to know you and see who you are. The nice cover photo of your face is great, or a logo of your business, or the picture of your outdoor business is great as well. So you have that opportunity. You reach out to Elizabeth. She will post those for you through our member newsletter. One of the things we didn't mention was you get a plaque, and you also have the option to do a ribbon cutting. So as a new member, you will get a plaque no matter what. And we still have lots of plaques. So if you are a new member and you're seeing this and you haven't got your plaque yet, we might have it here at the chamber. But we try to give those out whenever we have the opportunity at events or other things, or just when we deliver it to local businesses. And you'll also get a ribbon cutting as well. I want to encourage you. I kind of checked out the website earlier, but I want to encourage everybody to play around with the website. All the stuff that we have through the chamber is hosted through the website. We also have an app. It's called Member Plus. So if you download the Member Plus app, you can have like instant access. And like the thing that I'll probably use it for the most is when I'm out and about and I want to meet with a chamber business. It'll tell me the chamber businesses within a mile radius of where I'm at. And then you can also take notes. You can post on social. They have some like a social feature in there. So there's all sorts of different tools that you can use to that app. We also have a hot deal program. So we have businesses that will set up a hot deal through our website. It's very easy to set up. You just have to log into your backend portal. You set up a hot deal, and then you will be featured on our website. So if anybody's looking for deals, you can also set up member-to-member deals. So the hot deal is kind of for anybody that's using our website, but the member-to-member deals are for specifically for members. If you want to do something that way, you could. I'm going to go back and I'm going to show, well, actually, I'll do this at the end. The directory is something that I want to encourage all of our members to use, right? One of the things that as a Chamber of Commerce, our goal is to help businesses do better. And there's no better way to do better business than by hiring local and working with local businesses, local vendors, creating local opportunities, because we're all going to thrive in that environment. A lot of times we'll have, and I think if we're looking at construction, for example, we'll have a lot of businesses from LA or from Phoenix or from San Diego. They'll come in and they'll do the construction in the buildings here, and then they leave and they take those funds out of this community. Whereas if we're working with a local partner, those things will stay here. So those are some things we want to encourage our members to do. We talked about participating in a member committee. We had our staff that was talking about all of the programs we do. One of the main things that I'll highlight is our Chairman's Circle program. So our Chairman's Circle sponsorship program is something that if you're interested in investing a little bit more in the chamber and the work that we do, you get some bonus by sponsoring, by getting your name and logo around events, on the emails we send out, on our website. So if you're interested in learning about how you can get more by investing and supporting the work that we do, our Chairman's Circle program is there to do that. And then I'm going to go back and highlight the things. So this is that membership action plan. This is something that's fairly new for us that we're trying to share with members. And this is a great way that I could talk through, like, here's how you can make sure that you're taking advantage of your membership at the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce. And then let me stop sharing this one and share my full screen. And I just want to walk through that website real quick. So here's our website. We have all of the different options. If this is how you would join, you click that join button on the top left. You have your member portal. So for those of you that members, you have your back end options in here where you can set up the hot deals, do all that other stuff. And then you have all of the information about our chamber and the stuff that we do, the events page, the blog, the advocacy, our trip to Sacramento. But what I wanted to highlight before we leave today is our business directory search. So if you're ever looking for somebody local to do business with, And Brian's still on, so I'm going to use Brian as our example. If you type in video, and we'll just see what pops up. So we have these businesses that do video. They have the word video in their profile. They may or may not actually do video, but you could check out what they are. So Infinite Content Creations pops up. So if you're ever looking for photography, videography, whatever those things are, those are the things that pop up. Let's just say you were looking to do, I did this the other day, so I'll type in manufacturer. If you're looking to connect with manufacturers, these are all businesses that are members of the chamber. And so if you're ever looking to do business with somebody, or one of the ones that we get a lot is like, I'm looking for somebody to do like trusts, legal services. Let me type in law. Go back, type in law. And you see that these are all the businesses that have law in their profile. And so you can reach out for people if you have challenges or issues in your business. So you can always use that resource, but you can also use us. We have a great connection, a great network. And that's one of the main things about the value of a chamber of commerce is we're able to build connections and connect people with one another. I'll sign off with what I sign off with at our ribbon cuttings, which is we say that we're three things here at the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce. We are catalysts for business growth, meaning we help businesses grow. We are conveners of leaders and influencers, meaning we help bring people together. And then we're champions for a stronger community. So before I go, this is your call to action. One of the things I want to encourage you all to do is if you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching this on the social channels, leave us a comment. Let us know which thing you feel like has been the most impactful thing for you, or that you think might be the most impactful thing for you moving forward, if you're interested in joining. Thank you all for your time today. I appreciate it. And this is how you can this is how you can make the most out of your membership with the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.